Yo, what's the deal, YouTube world? I got my headset on today, so I mean business. So, hey, look, first off, before we get this started, I want to send a huge shout out to everybody who's been liking the page, liking the videos, and subscribing to the channel. We definitely appreciate it. Like we've been telling you guys, the whole purpose of this is to provide some good education in this community because there has been a lot of misleading information. All right. So, the video today, as you can tell by the title, got a lot of traction off my Hot Shot video. Hot Shot is for Suckers, part one. All right. So, here's part two. A lot of guys got their feathers ruffled by that last video, but the silver lining is we had a lot of people come and tell their truth in the comments. So if you haven't already, go check out that Hot Shot Trucking is for Suckers video part one so that way you can catch up on what's going on because today I'm going to double down and prove to you what I've been saying. All right, so I'm going to go today and break down the three most common trailer types for Hot Shot, and I'm going to do them in least to greatest order. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys live numbers. Today is February the 1st, 2022. It is 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. All right, this is a perfect time to go take a look at the load boards and show you. Okay, now the spot market is a great indication of what the market holds. Of course, this isn't the one all be all way to find your freight, but at some point in time, you will be using this load board, and the spot market is a good indication of what type of money your equipment can make. So that's all we're going on right now. This isn't scripted. I'm going to go straight to the load board and we're going to break this down step by step so you guys who've never seen this can actually see why I said what I said. Once again, this is no disrespect to the hot shot community. Our authority started with a hot shot. This is informational only. All right, you do with it what you will, but what you won't say is that over here at Raw Trucking that we misled you because we ain't about that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do first is we're gonna start off with the most popular trailer. The average trailer that everybody gets is a 35 plus 5 because we're talking only CDL here. No disrespect to my non CDL guys, but we're going to focus on strictly CDL hotshot setups here. Okay. So the most common, and also, like I told you, we're doing this from least to greatest. So we're doing three different options. Okay. The first option is your regular 35 plus 5 trailer. Okay, most guys have these with the mega ramps. All right. I highly suggest you do have the mega ramps if that's the option you're planning on going because it adds you a different level of versatility. All right. So now let's go look live. We're going to go over here and we're going to go to truck stop. All right. And we're going to truck stop is the most popular flatbed load board. So we're going to go on there and we're going to do a live comparison on the hot shot freight versus the semi freight. And we're going to choose, let's do Memphis, Tennessee as our base area. Okay. And I'm going to use that for every trailer type. We're going to use the same city so we can have a good comparison. All right. Now, first, before we do that, let's go look. Let's see. Okay. So before we do that, let me change this. All right. And I'm going to add the screen I want to show. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. So boom. So now, DAT Trend Lines, it's a familiar resource for some of you. It's what keeps up the spot market rates on the average. Okay. Now, this isn't always spot on, but it's pretty in the right ballpark. Okay, if it's telling you this is what the range is, this is what you can be looking to expect from the spot market. Remember, this is an average. So some took loads for less, some took loads for a little more. All right, but on average, this is what a semi, because this doesn't apply to the hot sharp market whatsoever. But I want you guys to see something. All right, for all the miles that you guys are laying down per week, you could be seeing way more money on average if you were in the semi and it's not even close. All right. And we're going to go and break down these numbers so you guys can see for yourself. All right. Because I don't believe in you believe what somebody tells you, only believe what you can verify. Okay. So now let's go over the truck stop. Let's go over the truck stop and we'll go ahead and get to this. I ain't going to hold you guys too long. I just want to make sure I nail home a point. All right. So now we're going to go over the truck stop. And as I said, we're going to start with Memphis, Tennessee. All right. And to make it sweeter for you guys, I'm going to do flatbed or step deck and hot shot to give you the most options possible. Okay. So now we're going to do Memphis, Tennessee area right now. Okay. Now the date, we're going to do pick up today, tomorrow. Okay. Now, right now on a 125-mile radius. Oh, my bad. I got van in there too. That's why. Now we got all the right equipment. Without for the semi, this is how many loads are available right now in this market. Within a 125-mile radius of Memphis, you got 3,710 loads. Okay, that's damn good. If you can't use that and find a good load out of that area, you're not doing something right. Okay. But let me tell you where the problem comes in when it comes to hot shot. So now the best way to scale this down so you can see only hot shot weight is you'll put whatever you can scale. So let's say you can scale 18,000. Let's say your length is 40 feet. Look how drastically that changed. Okay. It's at 101 loads. Let me do this one more time so you guys really understand this. Okay. When it was set up for semi, there was 3,720 loads. Make sure you guys see this. This ain't me. This is truck stop. I didn't make this load board. This is the facts. Okay. Soon as I edit it to fit the hotshot specs, look how drastically this changes. It just went down to 101 loads. And even those 101 loads, that's not even accurate. Let me show you why. All right. So now we go on here. So let me show you what I mean that some of this stuff isn't accurate. Okay. So sometimes what'll happen is brokers may be posting a whole bunch of different loads and they don't always have time to post the dimensions. Okay. So some of these loads are actually for a semi. They just didn't put the dimensions in. Right? You'll find that anybody who's been doing this for a while knows what I mean. A lot of these brokers will upload a whole bunch of loads at one time and they'll make it'll pop up under your hotshot search because they didn't put a length or a weight in. So they'll still add those to your search. So truthfully, whatever amount of loads popped up for the hotshot specifications, you can cut that number down some too because these are not all hotshot loads. Okay. And then when you're looking at it, we still, even if you kept this as a true number as 101, would you rather have 3,000 plus loads to choose from or 100 loads to choose from? I mean, I'm just telling you guys, you let these folks tell you all kind of stuff, but when you go research for yourself, you're going to see what I mean. Like I said, this is not my words. I'm not the one who created this load board. This is just a random search. You guys just saw me type this in and do this search. All right. This is not my opinion. As you can see, once again, let's even look at some of the posted rates. Okay. So for something that we know is a true hot shot, right here, this is a true hot shot load. They want you to go 384 miles paying $700. So even if you wanted to get this up to a rate that was feasible, you got a big gap you want to fill. In a semi, we're not taking this load for less than $1,200. You got a $500 gap that you got to reach with this broker to be able to haul this load at what a semi would get paid for. Okay. Look at all these new loads that just popped up. All right. All these are this is all well, we don't know because they didn't put the length, but the weight does match up for hot shot. But this is what I mean. Now let's say that you were calling on this load, right? And it wasn't actually for a hot shot. The way that hot shot freight moves so fast, once you were able to find a load that actually is for a hot shot, you would have already lost it by wasting time calling these people who don't have real hot shot freight. And I can tell you right now, DSV road doesn't load too many hot shots. A lot of freight for them. They don't let too many hot shots haul for them, even if the hot shot would be the best for whatever the load is. Because another thing that you guys don't know until you've been in the business is, even if some of these brokers have hot shot freight, because so many other people have burnt them in a hot shot, or just showed up unprofessional, period, they don't even like to load hot shots, even if it does dimension wise work for a hot shot. Okay. So now, if we're looking again, right now they got this load posted for 1350 on 658 miles. All right. So it's not even really truly $2 a mile. All right. Once you include your deadhead and all of that stuff. And if we go look, this same area right up in here is paying 342 a mile on average. All right. So if we go back to DAT trend lines, it's showing us right now. Let's see. Cause I want you guys to really understand this, man. You know what I mean? Don't take nobody's word for it. Now you get to see it firsthand. If you guys remember, when we went and showed this, it's already showing that this region, where Memphis, Tennessee is paying 342 a mile. Okay. All right. So now you just saw on this other on truck stop that the loads that they're posting for a hot shot is nowhere near that average. Okay. And yes, this is just the posted price, but brokers know what they're doing as well. Just because the person that you answers the phone when you call that brokerage may not be that experienced doesn't mean that the person who gave them the guidance on what to post that load for, that doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing. Okay, because the person who went actually secured the customer, they're telling their person who answers the phone, hey, this is the range that you have to move this load. All right. So they may tell them, let's say they got the load for 1500, just for a roundabout example. And then they tell him, hey, start posting it around 1300, 1350, but don't go up past 1450. They'll give them those type of guidelines when it comes to any freight, but definitely in hot shop, because guess what? You may be a guy who's trying to uphold the market. And you said, I'm not hauling nothing cheap. So you try to go get it for $3 a mile. There is a guy who's going to take it for $2 a mile every time. And that is the problem. It's not what you yourself are willing to take, it's you have to factor in the competition. And since there's so much competition in hot shots specifically, think about it. You don't have what type of marketing, what type of negotiation leverage do you have when there's only 90 loads that can fit your equipment type? Wouldn't it make more sense that you had way more leverage in the 3,000 load market? You get what I'm saying? It's really common sense, y'all. All right. So that's the first thing. For those of you who do need help, for the guys who are already in hot shot, who are trying to make a way and make it work, that's what we're here for. You can come and set up a consultation. I will gladly give you the blueprint to help you survive this. But this is mainly for people who have who are thinking about getting into this industry. This video is mainly for you guys to see firsthand what you would be getting yourself into. Okay. So we started off with the we started off hold on, I'm trying to Google something real quick. We started off with the regular flat. Okay. Regular gooseneck flat is what we started off with. Okay. Now we're about to switch it up a little bit. Okay. We are about to go check out what's called a tilt bed trailer. Now, in my company, we ended up upgrading from our regular flats to tilt bed trailers. Shout out to my partner, boss man Bruce, out of Dallas, Texas. He put us on to this line of work. We started hauling containers, not the way you guys haul containers. Most of you, we had a tilt bed trailer. We still have a tilt bed trailer, but the way we do it is, let me share what it looks like for those of you who have never seen one before. Okay, this right here is your tilt bed trailer. Okay, we got a 40 footer, has the hydraulics on it, so that way when they load us with a shipping container, we take it from the depot and we can go drop it off at either a business address or a residential address. And since we can offload without any help, we get paid much more. to haul these containers. And it's all local and regional work, stuff to where you can be home every night. Okay. So when we started doing this, it changed the game for us. Okay. Now the con is everybody's not going to be in an area to where they can haul containers for the depot. All right. And it's a whole nother business model. You're going to need you some education before you just hop on there, because you can't just go to the load board to go find freight for a tilt bed trailer. All right. But the good part about this tilt bed trailer is it also, as you can see, it has a wood deck. You can haul freight on here as well as cars. All right. So it's versatile. Anybody who's been in Hotshot long enough, you guys know that versatility is the key. All right. So this right here could literally put you in a niche situation. And that's very important in Hotshot, because you have to have multiple ways to be able to go out there and get this money. Because if you're only dependent on the load board, it's going to be very difficult. Now, contrary to popular belief, the load board is very beneficial, but that's for semis. All right, box trucks and hot shots, not so much. You're gonna have a lot of inconsistent weeks if all you have is the load board when it comes to hot shot trucking. Okay. And it just is what it is. I didn't make it this way. That's just the where the market is, and it's honestly getting worse because there's an influx of new carriers who are not properly educated, and they got to pay their bills. So when the money start getting funny, they're gonna take whatever on the board to keep those wheels turning, right? And that's the problem, because it hurts the rest of the industry. That's already a problem in the semi world. So imagine what it's like in the hot shot world. All right. So we got to think critically here, family. This is not an emotionally based conversation. All right. This is what we're going to do to really help out, all right, and really give some good content. So like I said, this is your second best in my opinion, would be your tilt bed trailer, because it gives you all the same options as that regular flat, but you can also do some more niche based type of work. All right. So it's very I would suggest this more than a regular flat. However, this trailer is almost double the price of what a regular flat is. So this is why it also turns away a lot of people from purchasing this trailer right out the gate. All right, because we didn't either. We had to work our way up to this trailer. So that's that. So that's your tilt bed trailer. All right. So now, lastly, all right, the best trailer, in my opinion, for longevity and consistency in the hot shot business is a car hauling trailer. Now, when I first got into the business, I wouldn't have guessed that. All right. I would have told you that flat was the way. But truthfully, if we're talking on straight consistency, meaning Monday through Friday, week 1 or week 51, you're still getting the same amount of freight at the same rates, as well as being able to build your own direct customer base. It's very easy to do that with cars. Okay. Once again, let's go to the proof. All right. We ain't taking my word for it. Now, one of the most common is a three-car wedge. All right. You can make some good money with a three-car wedge when you know what you're doing. So let's go over to central dispatch. This is where your car haulers, this is the car hauler load board, central dispatch, for those of you who don't know. And once again, we're going to do the same thing, the same city. We're going to do Memphis. All right. We're going to do 125, we'll do a 100-mile radius on here. And we're going to leave the destinations for all, because we want to see all the available freight coming out of this area. Okay. When we do that, we come back with 366 options. That's still more than the 100 options that we had available looking for flatbed freight. Okay. So now, if you're looking at this, now, once again, the loads on here, just like any spot market board, you need to be able to negotiate. You just don't take no anything. My suggestion would be you don't want to take any cars less than 70 cents per mile, and that's your absolute minimum. Okay. So if we were just to look, right, I'm going to do a quick little breakdown. Let me see something that's kind of close to each other, and we'll take it from there. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do. some quick math. So let's just look at these two right here, just a straight for example's sake. Okay. So let's say you were to get you three cars, right? Let's say you had three cars doing around this same mile radius. So each one of these cars is already paying over 80 cents per mile. So even if you just took this, and we're just going to add a third vehicle onto this, right? So now you would be at $1,200 to go this, basically, let's just say 500 or so miles. Okay. So a good driver could knock that out in a day, day and a half, if you include your loading and unloading of cars, depending on how far apart they were from each other. But that's a whole nother video. All right. The basics here is what I'm trying to show you guys is there's more options available and you can make more money. So that same guy who loaded up three cars and went that 400 or 500 miles to get 1,200, you're gonna have a flatbed, a gooseneck trailer guy gonna be taking that same 400 or 500 miles and maybe best case scenario get $1,000. All right. So, and anytime you're rolling with these vehicles, they're gonna be lighter weight than a lot of this freight that you're gonna get. Because a lot of times, most of these guys out here that are running hotshot, they're running heavier than they should. They're running to 16 to 18,000 pounds consistently, which does a disservice to not only your trailer, but more importantly to your transmission. Because truth be told, that dually ain't meant to haul that type of weight that consistent. That's why dually trucks have so many problems once they start getting up in miles because they weren't built for this type of longevity. All right. So the point here is when you go and do your research, you can see that the car hauling trailer is best for longevity and for consistency when it comes to the hotshot world. All right. It's not even a question. It's definitely the most consistent. All right. So I wanted to be able to do a quick breakdown for you guys. Like I said, I want to come back with some other content, but I wanted to do a quick video to double down on what I mean. The numbers don't lie, fam. We already know trucking is a cyclical business. It goes up and down with the economy and all the other factors that we face on an everyday basis in this industry. But however, the numbers are pretty consistent and they show, they paint a picture and they show you that the hot shot market for freight is not that good. Like I showed you, if I was in a semi, if I was in a semi with a flatbed, you got thousands of options as long as you stay in the right regions. If you know your lanes and all your commodities and you got that down to a science, even with just the load board, you can make great money in a semi. That's damn near impossible consistently in a hot shot. All right. So before you guys go out there and risk all your money on getting this equipment, you need to know how you're going to move that equipment at a profit consistently. Okay. Don't take nobody's word for it. That will leave you in a bind. You need to have a plan for how you're going to move your truck, or you're going to be chasing freight all over this country, dead heading hundreds of miles to your next load and out here lying like you're really making it. But really, all you're doing is paying the bills and have a little bit left over. Once you run into an emergency, it's going to bleed you dry because you can't run profitably consistently at just $2 a mile. Look how high diesel is right now, family. All right. Like I said, I'm just trying to help y'all. All right. You guys take it, do with it what you will. I wanted to give you a quick breakdown. Hey, I thank you guys for all the um, responses that you've been giving to the videos, good or bad. We like it all. We're here for the long run to really help out and make our mark in this industry. So if you please could help us out, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, tell a friend. Hey, if you got a disagreement with me, leave it down. I'm gonna respond to every comment. All right. So once again, this is Monte. I appreciate you guys. Y'all stay safe out there on the road and tune in for the next series of the videos for the Hot Shot Trucking is for Suckers. And I thank y'all for y'all time. I'm out of here. Peace.